Morning, guys. So I was just going through some of our lead gappers this morning. MDRR is definitely going to be one of them from what it looks like. But then, before I do anything, I always document my trades. And I was going through a swing trade that we actually just entered. And I'm not sure, no, in the recap video, you guys didn't see the recap video because it actually happened somewhat late. And that's HYLN. And I know this has been a hot ticker in the live stream chat room. So I want to kind of review it a little bit more here today, go through some of the major points. So actually, let's go through some of HYLN. Let's actually just throw it on the chart for now. And you know what? Everything is looking good here. Okay, so actually, let's always start on the daily chart. It's always a little bit nicer. This was a recent SPAC merger, HYLN, HYLN Holdings Corp. It's a EV kind of trucking company, and this has just been a kind of hot ticker. So I do want to review it a little bit because we always look for tickers that have a lot of momentum, right? That are hot stocks because we want to be trading into that momentum and looking, if we're trading it on the downside, looking for those big bounces. So let's review this one a little bit more just so we have a little bit better understanding of what's going on with this ticker. Obviously, EV stocks and anything in that kind of integration, if it's a mining company for graphite, or if it's actually the EV company itself, like Tesla, are just going crazy. So HYLN is one of those picks that we were looking at for quite some time. And in these areas, we were kind of thinking, it's a little bit overextended. It had a really nice run. I was looking for originally maybe a pullback back to the 40s, which would have been some really good swing trades. But in these areas, when we weren't able to break out volume, the buy volume was going lower. Either this was going to be a nice little bull flag here in a breakout, or it's going to really break to the downside. And since it broke to the downside, I was really cautious with kind of getting this thing in, kind of catching a falling knife until we approached bigger support. And to me, bigger support would right here be around $25. And if we go here, because this was a former breakout zone, right here, nice little breakout zone. And going to here on opening comments for this trade. Like I said, we've discussed this ticker quite a lot before, but we're right now approaching a key psychological zone. To me, $25, $10, $100, those are always key zones. When I'm day trading, I'm always looking for those whole and half dollar zones, right? $2, $2.5, things like that. Can we crack 2.5? Is there low volume around the crack? Things like that are really important to me. And that's why, as I saw a little bit less selling volume coming in here, we had a nice little dead cat bounce here. And now we're approaching this key zone. This was a breakout zone. It was a retest zone, and it was a breakout here with a quick pullback before we had that exponential kind of move here to the upside. So I know that $25 is going to be on a lot of people's radars. And that's why I ended up having a limit order here on HYLN right around the 26 zone. So if actually we go here to the trade itself, it's a smaller position size right now. As you guys can see, we have our, actually, hold on, let me go back on this one. That way you guys could see the trade detail a little bit better. No image uploaded just yet. Our entry at 26.27, so our position size is only $2,600. My full position size usually is a little closer to $5,000, so that's usually what I wouldn't mind averaging down on this one a little bit. Like I said, I do think we might see something closer to the break of 26 and closer to $25. So I want to have the ability to average down a little bit, although I also think that we might see some sort of reversal here, and so far we already saw a 4% bounce. So now I could think about maybe closing this trade and then buying back, or just waiting and buying back at a lower price or averaging down. So that's kind of the two ways I'm looking at this. So right now I know 25 is going to be a big support zone. I do think we might see one of these kind of flash pullbacks here. This bounce, a lot of selling volume here on the 4-hour. Also increasing selling volume, that's always a bit of a red flag. Green volume has been very light here, so I would not be surprised if we had another dip here. And in that dip, I'll probably be buying it. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be looking for. Obviously, you guys want to do your own due diligence and understand why you guys are trading this yourselves. I want to talk a little bit more about why I want to enter this ticker in the just in the fundamental aspect of it. So this company is located in Texas. That's a hot spot right now for a lot of EV companies. Even Tesla is looking to move there. They have great corporate tax rates, and it's also one of the few states, I think one of the 5 states in the US, is it 5 or 6? I forgot. Leave a comment below if you guys remember. Anyway, there's a few states in the US that are 0% income tax. So, Texas is a kind of a breeding ground right now for startups and a lot of larger companies moving there. Always go to the website itself for more information. I always find that's a really good place that's sometimes overlooked for more information. They actually have really cool graphics on their homepage. Kind of fun to just kind of go through how the whole thing works. It's a little bit above my head. I don't know obviously too much in terms of EVs, and it's not something I dive into all the time. For me, I always focus on technicals, and you guys know if you're in the live streams all the time how our trading style is. So that's really my focus, is a bit more on technical analysis side, as opposed to always diving into the fundamentals of the company. To me, as long as the company has a catalyst, I'm usually day trading it, and it fits my overall criterion for small caps. Some things I do want to kind of point out, worth exploring a little bit more, is this company has significant challenges in scaling production, while the stock price has already kind of price that in, right? That they're going to be having these big growths. So this whole kind of run here is just, really just a bunch of greed, kind of chasing the order up here, and buying on the upside on the pullbacks would have not been a bad idea. But at this point, I would rather just kind of accumulate near bigger support and look for a retest. I do think 25 is going to be big support. So if we crack 25, we have next big resistance or support here. That's a 22% dip. But I do think if we do crack this with big volume, I would be able to get out on a retest of 25. So I don't think I would be risking more than 5 to 10%. And with a possible move back to the upside of around at least 30, and then ideally back to 35, and ideally even back to 40, where we have this 180-day moving average. So I think this thing offers a really, really good risk reward. If you were able to stop out on the break, not at the break of 25, but on the retest of 25, right? That would pretty much, from where our entry would be around like 5, 6, 7% loss if we had that, and then a decent pretty much upside here with 20%, 30%, and then 50%. I'd probably be getting out on the break of 30, something into that. So to me, it'd be risking around 7% to make 20%. So that's like a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio on HYLN. And I think that's why it's a kind of a good, interesting trade here for me. Let me go a little bit quicker here. Let wrap up. Yeah, so you guys probably know Shell, SHLL. It was a SPAC, Special Purpose Acquisition Corp. There's been so many SPACs lately. It's just, I have a whole video on SPACs, so I'm not going to go into it too much. But they've been doing fairly well lately. Also, check out the board of directors. A lot of big names here on the SPAC. So always good to know kind of who you're getting into business with, and what the track record is. So here's kind of a cool little thing here. One of the most impressive parts of HYLN is the founder and CEO, Thomas Healy, 28 years old. That's actually insane. One of the youngest self-made billionaires now because of the SPAC merger. So really, really cool there. A few things I'm a little bit nervous about here is on the 10Q. You guys could check it out. They have their consolidated operations. Their operations are, their losses are accumulating, but that's not always a bad thing. I mean, we know Amazon was pretty much not running a profit for over a decade. That's just because their growth was so big, right? I'm a little bit nervous about these numbers, and I think to me, it's something I'd want to look into a little bit more. So that's why I kind of just listed it here, just kind of keep in mind. Also, the ownership is always something I would probably consider checking out a little bit more. See what kind of names are behind it. Are people backing this that are fairly credible? What I do sometimes is just go to BAMSEC, and then I look for these S13D filings. Obviously, somebody needs to file this if they have acquires 5% or more of the company, so worth looking into. Also, another thing I like to look into for momentum and swing trades is partnerships. What kind of deals are they making? Are they credible deals, or are they kind of shady last-ditch effort deals like with Nikola and GE or GM? Ooh, I'm having a brain fart right now. Yeah, so you look through the partnerships a little bit more, and those are all things that, I don't know, to me, I was doing, just going through all these articles, it does seem a fairly credible company. I like the team behind it, so I feel fairly secure in this company. I like the risk reward right now. I don't see that we're gonna have, a massive amount of downside, and I wouldn't mind holding this one a little bit longer. And I do think at one point, even if the stock goes down and I average down a little bit, there's a huge chance that there's gonna be a good bounce to the upside. Maybe we're gonna retest 40, maybe that's too aggressive, but even if we don't reach 40 and we just break back to the 30s, have a 9 EMA retest here, I feel like that's a fairly good risk reward here. So I would be fairly confident to average down to this one a little bit more. Don't forget, guys, if you are interested in learning more about what we do every single day, if you want to keep track of this day trade and my other, or this swing trade and my other trades, don't forget to check us out on the stream. We go live every morning at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to review the watch list and then trade the market open. And yeah, drop a like, guys, if you enjoy the content. I'll see them later today. Till then, stay safe, make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.